Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Half a Nice Day podcast with your host, Joshua.
And Janine.
And today, I'm very excited to bring up to our podcast in our studio. He's someone who I'm very inspired by recently. I have to say that much, John. And who recently came back from a European tour. He's also in the same industry as me, but he's like a general manager. I'm a janitor, I would say. No, I'm just saying like we're in the same industry, but yeah, I'm just saying that much. He's also a comedian. He's also an entrepreneur. He's now based in Dubai, and I would like to give a very warm Half a Nice Day welcome to John
Achkar.
Thank you. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Man, it's honestly a very big pleasure to have you here. You know, before we start, I just want to say how I met John or how I first saw John. I don't know if you remember this, but it was in one of Ima's mics.
It was the outdoor one.
The outdoor one, yes. And that's I've seen John in Ima's stories, but I'm thinking like maybe a new comedian in the circuit or something like that. And the first time I saw him, and I'll say this in a very nice way, he was a professional amateur comedian when I first saw him. Because his body language is like, very timid.
I thought
shy.
you would say he was professionally bombing. Like he was bombing in the most professional.
He structured his bombing.
This is how he did it. I'll have to add to that when you finish.
I saw it, like you speak very slow on stage as well, and it was deadpan, but at the same time very expressive. And I'm like, this is so professional, but at the same time very amateur for me. But I'm not saying this in English, yes. And I know
because I'm very new.
Exactly.
I think you're the expert in English.
No.
Really, because in English it's something now we will talk about.
Yeah. So that's the first time I saw him, and then when I spoke to Ima, before we actually exchanged a few words at the end of the show, she's like, yeah, that's John. He's a comedian from Lebanon. He's part of Awkward, right? It was the comedy scene that's going on in Beirut. And I'm like, this guy's amazing because he was so funny straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And it's basically like an expat's view of Dubai, like within a week, like how everything is like completely different. So
actually, that was my only joke that made me a comedian in English. So I had one joke. Okay, so this is the full story.
Okay.
So I had one joke, of 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, I slept. I had 7,000 followers. Okay, I woke up with 90,000 followers with 10 million views on one reel. Okay, I went down the building. Okay, even like the security guard, he told me, John, you're viral on TikTok. And then I got it. Things have changed. Really.
Wow.
It took one reel and it was in English and it was about Dubai.
Yeah.
But I think the good thing about this reel that it's so the joke, I'll tell you the joke, it's already, so when people ask me, why do you come, so where do you come from? I tell them, Lebanon. Why did you come to Dubai? I mean, they tell me, oh, Lebanon, no electricity, no government,
yes.
financial crisis. Why did you come to Dubai? And then I came to charge my phone. That's the lamest joke of all time.
It stops there.
Before we continue though, because of that, I brought a gift for you.
Yeah.
Because of that joke, what made you very famous? It's a power bank.
Wow.
So you don't have to come to Dubai anymore to charge your phone.
Wow.
Charge the power bank.
Guys, thank you so much. Finally, guys, it's official.
You can go all around Europe, wherever you want, back to Lebanon, as long as you charge that here.
I got one small power bank company telling me like they want to put my joke on there.
Okay, then mine is just like a stupid gift.
No, it's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so this made me a comedian actually, and I think this type. You were born and raised in Dubai, so you know that these things only happen in Dubai.
Yeah.
So this is the place. But I think the bonding that I had with the other parts of the world where there is no electricity was amazing. Like I had people from all over the world. We have this problem too.
No, but even people who live here, because again, most of us are expats.
Yeah.
And it reminds you of home. And it reminds me of home every time I go back to Beirut at الكهرباء. We don't know when is the electricity coming back. So I feel the relativity or people relating to it is what made it really famous. Even if you look at the shares, you were just telling me how many shares there was to that reel, because everyone was like, look at this video, I relate to it.
Was it on TikTok where it blew up or Instagram?
It was both. Like TikTok, 9 million, I think. Instagram, 8 million.
Okay.
Or something, 10 or 9.
And it's still getting popular. Like people are.
And still people are doing this thing. I don't know the name on TikTok. When they do the voiceover, they
like a duet.
duet. Like people are still. There are more like 10,000 people who did a duet.
Wow.
It's like all it was the United Nation of people with no electricity.
Yeah. Which is basically almost all of us at this point. Yeah, exactly.
Across civilization.
Yeah. But okay, just since we're on that topic, did you get any backlash from people? Like, why are you making fun of Lebanon like this? Or were there any people like Karens doing that stuff?
No.
Everyone was on the same page.
Yeah, like it's not subjective.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not
true.
like you have an opinion if there is electricity or there is no electricity.
Because it's a fact.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay, but luckily that this reel went viral, but this added the whole stress because suddenly people knew me because of this reel. Suddenly I had to post more reels. Suddenly I had to post. Actually, this was my only good joke in English, like my whole English is 10 minutes and I get laughs on only this joke. Okay, so what to do?
Where to start even,
what to do? The decision was to go on stage and to repeat the same joke over and over again.
So, Hala, when you do your comedy shows, is it in English or in Arabic?
No, mostly when I did the tour, it's in Arabic.
Okay.
Like, it's my second 1 hour. Actually, it has been 7 years I'm doing stand-up.
Wow.
I was even when I went on this interview with Chris Fade on Virgin because of this reel, and then Chris Fade told me, John, tell us another joke. I was like, bro, I don't have any other joke,
In English.
In English.
Yeah.
Okay?
I've seen the Arabic jokes. They're really funny. They're really funny.
By the way, it's different persona. So you were talking about I speak slowly in English.
Yeah.
There is a reason for that because I don't English is my third language, so I have to speak slowly. Okay, so
so it's not how do you say, what's that word? It's not
a persona.
Yeah, it's not a persona, or it's not conscious that you're doing it. It's just you trying to.
Yeah, it will take me so much time to build my persona in English, the persona that's still also evolving in Arabic, and it's two different characters. So actually, this is why I'm always scared to publish or to announce my English shows, so I don't get Lebanese coming to my English shows because they will get disappointed.
Yeah.
I never met Lebanese people coming to my English and hey, John, you're doing great. No. We will watch you next time in Arabic. Yeah. We feel English is quite really new for me, and for me to express myself, then it's another type of comedy because in Arabic it's very cultural. I talk about me, Lebanese. I talk about me, Lebanese, growing up in a Christian community in Beirut, seeing the world from this Christian Lebanese lens. Okay, and now I moved to Dubai, and suddenly I saw the world, and the world is way beyond what I used to see in Beirut. And this clash of me being Lebanese coming to Dubai and understanding how people are living here. And then there is my English comedy lens, which is just an expat coming to Dubai and then trying to find something in common with all the other expats moving to Dubai. The crowd is different. So also the type of cultures we have in an English, like the one we did together in an English show where you have to cater to all nationalities to understand the same joke.
Yeah, because again, you have to look at the audience that you're catering to, right?
Exactly.
So if you keep on just pushing through the Lebanese jokes but with a different audience, not everyone's gonna relate to it. So it's gonna be quite difficult.
That's it. Do you want water? You okay? No, that's I totally agree with that. Like, there's even shows where if it's like a very Indian room, I know how to cater my or change my punchlines a little bit.
Definitely.
And then if it's international room, then I have to put some international references and everything. But that's very true. But why did you come to Dubai to enhance your...
Yeah, to really charge his phone.
Just no. Let's talk seriously. So the decision. Why I came to Dubai?
Yeah.
Because I felt hopeless. I woke up on a day in 2021, and then after the explosion of 2010, even after the explosion, I had hope. Okay. I was a part of many civil movement organization trying to rebuild the city, trying to support small and medium enterprises. I had my own company as well there. I always believed that change will happen in Beirut. There is no way that we continue. And then there were some political assassinations in late 2020 and beginning of 2021, and people I knew personally. Then my girlfriend was already here. So before she moved in Jan 2021. She told me, John, I'm going to Dubai. I said, I'm going to rebuild Beirut. I'm staying in Beirut. There is no way. And then there was this assassination. And then I called her, I'm leaving. And then I came to Dubai. And luckily we're here. One of my friends told me, John, you're living the Emirati dream now. We're in a phase where things are happening. This region is flourishing. And luckily, things happened. Like I came with my business, so I design and produce board games. It's a small company. And I thought that was the limit. So I bring my business here. I'll do some deals. The deals were amazing. Actually, the first orders that we got from customers were like, "Hula, why
did I didn't hear before?"
So I had these deals, and I said, "Okay, maybe this is the Emirati dream." So actually, you have your business. As when people used to travel to the States, before coming,
the American dream.
Now I said, "Okay, this is the limit." So my business will grow and things. And then after 1 year, it took me 1 year to decide to go on stage in Arabic. And then I was doing the same show I was doing in Beirut. I did it in Dubai first, in January 2022. Then I started to do jokes in English. Then I went to Dubai Comedy Festival last year, and they took this short video. And then I published this video without the approval of Dubai Comedy Festival. And then this video went viral, and then everything happened.
Nice.
Wait, so the Dubai Comedy Festival was the charging your phone joke?
Yeah, because I did it in the English show. There was a small English show for local comics.
I did that one as well. The blah blah one?
Yeah, the blah blah one. So I came, it was like 5 p.m. I don't know, it was a birthday party for teenagers or something.
A rich teenager.
Luckily, so that was my first experience with Dubai Comedy Festival. And people told me, John, last year we took this shot and things happened. Let's see how we can collaborate this year.
Let's do it again, So 7 years ago, you started doing comedy. What inspired you to start doing comedy?
Okay, so the first time I went on stage was even before 7 years. Like the first time I went on stage was in 2011. I wanted to do a fundraising event because I was a chief of Boy Scouts.
Okay, so I
was the chief of a Boy Scout group, and we wanted to go to Turkey for Easter's vacation, and we didn't have the budget, so it was a little bit expensive for the parents of the Boy Scouts to pay the fees. So I said, okay guys, let's do something called stand-up comedy. So all of us, we went on stage. We were like 20 performances back to back in 2 hours with in front of 600 people.
Oh, wow. You gathered 600 people.
Everyone did great, okay? Everyone did great, but then people were telling me, okay, John, the show was amazing, but you in particular, there is something about you that it will be, okay, you have it. There is something.
Like the X factor.
There is something you have to work on it more, or like to expand your, I don't know.
Your advising.
And I stopped a little bit, then I went many times on stage and I bombed so badly. So I said, maybe it's not...
not for you.
Not for me. And there was one time I went into a talent show, and there was this very well-known actor in Beirut. Like he took the mic in front of everyone and told me, John, stand up is not for you.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
What was it? Or
no, his name is, he's known. His name is Achkar, and he told the mic, and you know him.
No.
So he told me, John, stand up is not for me. I said, okay, maybe he's right. So I stopped. And then back then I was getting married, and it was a joke with my ex-wife. Okay, so I told her that, okay, we don't have funds for our marriage, so maybe I can start doing stand-up.
Is this your source of income? People to come for my show?
So I said, she told me, okay, John, no way to do it. So when she told me no way, maybe I should have predicted that we will get divorced later.
This woman is not for me.
Yeah, I said no, maybe. So I started doing just for fun, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then they had one shoot. We had some fund in Beirut to do for 6 comedians. They selected me. Actually, they didn't selected me. I was the 7th choice, and the 6th person decided not to come to the show last minute.
So
And
by
then the guy
default,
called me John, and then the guy told me, John, there is this show, you heard about it, and you were not selected. However, there was this person who decided to drop the show because she's traveling. So maybe, we have this.
Maybe you can come in the end after
Yeah.
commercial
No,
breaks, everything.
3 minutes.
Exactly. And I came like last minute, and back then I was going through already my divorce.
Okay.
It was a marriage of 3 months, so
What?
so I had more things to talk about.
That's all you need, man. That's all
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily things happened this way. Drama came to my life without any permission. Like,
Yeah.
no one told me that drama will come this way.
Yeah.
And it was part of the show. And like even now in my shows in Dubai and Beirut, you have 20% of the audience either already divorced, either going into a divorce, and they come to take some notes, like what to do in this case.
Like a seminar.
Yeah. And can you repeat the last part?
What are the steps?
Yeah. Which one should I follow in here?
Exactly.
But it's funny but also ironic that comedy most of the time comes from like a darker, dramatic place.
It's I like to say like it's a coping mechanism for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially when like Janine and I, when we have a fight or something, it's always me trying to make some stupid joke, just to lighten the mood. So I think that's what we do subconsciously as well in life. Like even if it's a very serious situation, we're like, then you just want to think of something funny.
I have a question. Is it still working with Janine? Like, because I'm still trying with my girlfriend now, and I think she knows that.
The only time I have a joke written about it, I don't mind even saying it, but I'm saying like, start a podcast because that's the time you'll actually even talk to each other. So it's a very great way to.
It's the only time we talk to each
but
other.
Everything is
So
so good, yeah.
Actually, my activity to talk with each other,
Yeah.
my girlfriend was, she told me, John, we have to connect. So my idea was to go to do scuba diving. And like
And just leave her there.
20 meters down, and was John.
Yeah. Just say this, all this. And that's your connection.
Yeah, so but it's important, like, for me to know, but
What works? It still works.
it still works.
Yeah.
Like the comedy, you can.
I'm a fan of comedy, that's why. So it still works. So if your girlfriend is a fan of
she is,
comedy, then she'll, yeah.
It's a great support.
So there are 2 stories of how we met. One was on Tinder, which is the one which we actually say, but we actually met at a comedy show as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Before Tinder. Yeah.
Before Tinder, yes.
Yeah.
And I was dating someone else back in that
Before
time, yeah.
Tinder.
No, I was so when I did my show, when she first saw me, I was dating someone else.
Okay.
But I saw her and I had a crush on her, but I couldn't do anything because I was in another relationship, of course. But then lockdown.
I like the of course.
Yeah, of course. I
Of course,
couldn't-
for the audience, of course.
I'll tell you what
It's for my parents, her parents.
of course, for everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to remain a nice guy for everyone. But yeah, that's how it works. So it's
Yeah, a few months later, then we met each other on Tinder. So we saw each other. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Few months later, we met each other on Tinder. So that's how it starts.
I'm happy you're talking.
Yeah, right.
you can leave now, John. We'll finish the episode.
I felt like it was already.
Let us connect further.
That's why you don't ask questions. You just
I saw some eye contact.
Like, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I need to debrief him more on what to share, what not to share. But just getting back to it again. How is the comedy scene in Lebanon or Beirut? Like, it seems like it's hip and happening.
I
but yeah.
like the smooth transition
Right?
from Tinder to
Let's
the
go
comedy
back.
scene. So, let's see, how is the comedy scene? The comedy scene is always happening in Beirut.
Okay.
I think also it's a coping mechanism, but at the same time, I think it's all about pushing the boundaries. What happened in the revolution in Beirut back in 2019, that people are used to a new vocabulary, how to say it, a new lexic.
Like
Yes.
format of
Yes.
Yeah, so people already the boundaries were pushed and during the revolution, and people are now used to talk about anything.
Yeah.
And even comedy now is leading the freedom of speech or the freedom
100%,
of expression.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super proud and happy that I was part and still part of this scene.
Mhm.
And I think comedians in Beirut are going places.
Yeah. I think the comedy platform, sometimes it's the best way to actually talk about these hard-hitting subjects. Like people go on to stage, especially in America, talk about politics, talk about what's happening in the world, even if it is quite dark, but you know, you put the comedic spin to it. And sometimes you don't know if the comedian is actually really pushing it or really just, you know, trying to make it funny. But then it's a great platform to actually talk about these things.
And then the question, what do we mean by pushing it? At the end, you realize that pushing it means exactly talking about things that we talk between us and ourselves, but we don't share them with the public. Is it pushing it? No, it's getting to the
bringing it to the surface.
to the real person, to the real persona.
Yeah.
So I think it's there's a difference between, for me, it's the difference between comedy and acting. Comedy is getting the real you, the inside, getting the inside.
The
out.
real
Acting is the difference. It's actually trying to push a new persona, someone new on stage that is not
you.
That is not you.
But that's true. Sometimes when people say, oh my gosh, that's offensive, or whatever you said is offensive, don't say that, you know. And then you think about it, you're like, actually, it's not offensive, because when you're alone,
you will say it.
You will think, and you will think about it. Like, it was just more amplified because you have an audience, people can record it, it can be shared, blah, blah, blah. But it's whatever everyone's thinking about.
Actually, building this trust with you and your audience, and telling the audience that, guys, okay, I'm gonna talk about something. I know what will be your first thought, but then just wait for me to get where maybe you don't want me to get. Then
yes.
I feel this is the whole manipulation,
right?
If I can call it like because you want to be on the same. At least for my type of comedy, I don't want to create barrier with my audience. I want them to be my allies during the show.
Yeah.
So
you're bringing them on a whole ride.
I was reading this thing about comedy where they say, like, just because something is like a certain subject that is very touchy to a lot of people, do it. That's when the real comedian in you comes into play, and how you write. It's not about you swooping to their level, but it's about you bringing them to your level as well. So what you said is very true, like making them an ally, like understanding, yes, we need to talk about this. Yes, it might be uncomfortable at first, but at the same time, you need to really ensure that the message gets across in a way where everyone really understands it. Because some people get angry at stuff that are true, but they don't understand, so that's why they're angry as well. So
did you try comedy outside the UAE?
I tried only in Philippines. That's the only place.
And what was the difference?
So I think I don't want to sound like how do I say? I don't want to sound like I'm like blowing my own trumpet or anything, but I did well. But I think it's because I was a foreigner in a land of Filipino comedians. Like in that sense, like I feel like it's awkward if like an American, maybe I'll say, comes, like he will definitely get a little bit more attention than the Lebanese comedians. So I did really well, and I was happy about it. But those guys are like quite brutal and quite honest. So like if they say, like, if I told a comedian once again, I'll say, hey, good stuff. They're like, no, don't tell him that. He bombed tonight. Be honest with him. Tell him what he needs to improve, what he needs to drop, what he needs to rewrite. So that's something I learned only when I went to the Philippines, that like even if a comedian comes off stage here, don't say, oh, good job, that's really good, you got the audience. No, be honest with them, because that's the only way they'll ever improve, right?
So next time you will tell me, John, you bombed the profession.
I've only seen you like, what, twice? That's why in English, because I know most of the time you do in Arabic.
No, but I forgot to add, when you met him for the first time, I remember you messaged me and you told me there's this Lebanese comedian. You should see him. He's really funny. No, not the first time. I saw him the second time.
Oh,
yeah. So the first time he messaged me right away. And he's like, there's this Lebanese comedian. You really have to see him. And I'm like, okay, sure. whenever he's showing it
Okay, yeah,
again.
maybe 3
Yeah.
times I seen.
Yeah.
Because I brought her to the Pullman show. That's the one where I
Yes.
saw him.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never attended my Lebanese, my Arabic show.
No, but we were just talking about
I was telling
it.
her I want to get tickets for her and her dad to watch your second show
Yeah.
at the Dubai Comedy Festival.
Okay, خلاص, I'm getting the tickets for you guys.
No,
Yes, I'm getting. No, I'm getting.
It doesn't work like that, bro. No.
No, I'm not getting tickets for you. I'm getting
I wouldn't even
The
understand.
Lebanese
like,
peeps.
I didn't feel she's like she didn't say no. In fact, the guy was no. I mean, but
You know why I didn't say no? Because if you say a joke, like he'll look at me and be like, "What did he say?" And I'll just have to translate it for him.
Yeah.
And this is what happened when you were showing me his reels, right? It's like, yeah, what? So is it funny? What did he say? What did he say? And I have to translate everything.
it's very cultural.
And if you translate it, it's not as funny. It's not, because the way that you use Lebanese words is what's funny. It's like the words that we use in Beirut that maybe not every other Arab person would know.
Exactly.
Like if you spoke to an Emirati or a GCC with that particular way of Arabic, then they'll be like, don't know what he's talking about. Yeah.
I have now I have one joke on like one small bit on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a backlash, but I had many questions from Saudis because it's a joke about Uber.
I think I saw the
About Uber Saudi,
thumbnail,
and
yeah.
you see the comment that people. It's not like they were not attacking me, but
Yeah.
like, and why are you making fun of? But it was not making.
Yeah.
It's making fun about what happens in the Uber situation, you
Yeah.
know. But I feel because there is this language
Barrier, yeah.
sometimes people will get, okay, what is he talking about? Is it something good? Is it something bad?
Okay,
Please tell me so I don't laugh for the wrong reason.
So you get like lost in translation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're, I think this is a high learning outcome, a highlighted, how to say it, learning outcome for me, that I need to make sure that my content is more universal,
Right.
especially in the Arab region. So even if I'm doing jokes for Lebanese in Copenhagen, they won't get it because they are born in Copenhagen.
Right.
So they cannot relate to the internal political thing. So now this is something I learned after I was touring in Europe and the MENA region, that jokes should be universal. Like I did 1 hour I performed my 1 hour in Jordan.
Wow.
The first time it was in a small pub. There were around like 80 people. The vibes were great. People were enjoying. From the moment I went on stage, 1 hour non-stop laughing.
Nice.
And then during the tour, I decided to do it in a theater. It was more family oriented.
Right.
That was a workshop. Like people were asking questions, you know, like people are coming with families. People were taking notes. It was,
How big
Yeah.
is the theater? How many seats?
yeah, it was like, there was around 300 people.
Wow.
For me, it was a nightmare.
So people were interrupting you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
asking questions. I don't know, like they
weird.
felt it was, I felt it was, like I didn't get them to become my allies in the show.
Okay. So in Jordan, did you... How smooth was that? So in Jordan, did
Like nothing happened.
No cut. No.
Nothing
That's how we work here. You know, professional podcasters, guys.
So this is your second time in Jordan. You went through and you said a couple of people were raising their hands or heckling. And I saw a TikTok reel or an Instagram reel of you and a heckler. And this was the funniest, to me, one of the most funniest ways to handle a heckler. Do you get them often?
Now
yeah.
I'm getting more hecklers because
Okay.
because they are expecting.
Yeah, because they saw that reel and they're like, let me do it.
There was this reel, about this reel about charging my phone, and then I didn't know what to put online because people were expecting more. And someone told me it's better to put crowd interaction
Yeah.
than to put
To burn your
proper
material,
content.
yeah.
So I started to put the crowd interaction, but it seemed that my crowd interactions are good. So I didn't know this. I thought it was like, this is what I do. So, and then now people go to attend the shows only for crowd interaction.
Oh, like they think it's a crowd work.
They
show or
know
something.
when I'm out, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I forget the script and then I go fully on someone.
Yeah.
The downside of it is people come with super high expectations.
Okay.
I cannot, like, in crowd interaction, you have 20% chance to get it right.
Right.
Okay. So you have
It's
20%.
tough.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
One time in Abu Dhabi, first I need to say something just as a copyright, because like this workshop thing is something that Yash mentions usually on when he performs in
Okay.
Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not my joke. Thank you.
Don't cancel him.
Just once I was in Abu Dhabi, and there was one girl sitting next to another girl, so I started to interact with this girl, and things were okay, the vibes were okay. And then I wanted to ask her, with whom are you coming with? So I told her, you're coming with your mom, right? And she was her friend. So actually, because the light were like, I didn't see her.
Yeah.
It's so blinding.
Yeah.
That light.
It's so blinding. So I didn't know that. I thought it was her mom, and like it was a total silence in the venue. There was a total silence in Abu Dhabi. There was a total silence
In
the
UAE.
Total silence in the planet for 1 minute, and I was like, man.
It's almost as worse as calling out a lady pregnant when she's not pregnant.
So then I got back to Dubai, and then she sent me a very long message like, your age is sexist, racist, like even beyond what I
Is
did.
this an English show or
No, in Arabic.
Okay.
Like she went crazy, like
Yeah.
like
She was offended.
anything
Yeah.
was ist in the end, like
Okay.
you are offending, you offended us, and I told her I'm really sorry, and I felt super sorry. Then I sent her some flowers with Happy Mother's Day. No, I'm joking.
That's the best setup. You drew us in, and that was too funny.
But the story was real until the flowers. Really, the story was real.
You should have.
So what can I do in this case, guys? I'm sorry. So it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's an honest mistake. Yeah.
Like I have some hecklers coming just to interrupt the show. Now I have the type of hecklers.
Yeah.
They only want to be part of the next reel on the social media. Like they
want their 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, I know, because even their answers are pre-thought. So you feel that this answer is already prepared before. Like, what do you do for a living? I'm a dentist. So you feel and then he knows.
They say crowd work is also, you prepare for the answers that they give you, right? So you have a standard reply when someone replies
I
something.
shouldn't.
No, but that's in reality it is.
Ideally, so ideally is about being really in the moment and trying to come up with something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ideally, I'm working on it. So I'm not, especially in English, anything they will tell me in English, I don't have an answer. Like I tell me, yes, me too. I came to charge my phone. That's it. So this is the limit.
Yeah.
In English, but in Arabic, I try to
Interact.
build something
Yeah.
about it. But the biggest challenge is to keep the crowd as your ally. So sometimes you feel that if they feel that you're punching down, people will start, like I had I was in few situations where like I went out of, like I wasn't in my comfort zone, and I had to use some word that I shouldn't use on stage, and people got offended, and then my reaction was amygdala response 101. So I was into my fight or flight response. So either I run out of the stage right now, either I have to respond, and then it created a whole situation.
But it's tough. It's tough because you have to think right away. We said English is your third language, so then you think in Arabic and French, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then you have English as well, and then you have the crowd that you need to get into play. Like there's
That's why I don't do crowd work in
English.
Even if anything that happened in front of me, I don't want to address it.
Yeah.
Like even if one girl was choking, dying,
Giving
guys, I'm continuing. Continuing. Let's focus. Don't focus on it.
Focus on my jokes.
No, but the like, even for me, I'm terrified of doing crowd work. Like I know there are people in the front who are terrified if I speak to them, but in reality, I'm like more scared of them than they are of me, because crowd work, it's, first of all, you isolate one person, so you could lose the interest of
Exactly.
the remaining crowd.
True.
That's there.
Yeah.
And then for me, like a comedian should be funny in their jokes and as well the way they speak.
Yeah.
So I can say like I have some confidence that I'm a really good writer, but if on the spot it's there and like I'm thrown off, then I'll lose my whole focus. So even like what you said, even if someone is choking in front of me, I would just look at the back of the room and still continue.
Anything. Let's forget. Okay, you have one ambulance coming.
Yeah.
People caring.
And you're like, I'm done.
So yeah, that's crowd work is so tricky, but for me, that's when I know someone is very good. If they can really do amazing crowd work and at the same time go on about their
The challenge, because sometimes you go into a room. Okay, we've been a lot to this type of room, especially in Dubai. Because the comedy culture is not like people go to Dubai and they watch comedy, they don't know what to expect. They are not usual comedy.
That's true. Audience,
and they know what to do, that they have to remain silent, not to talk with each other, not to check their phone. So okay, in Beirut, people now know this. So they have this. There is a name for this in English.
Etiquette. Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Like what you need to do when you're there. Yeah.
Exactly. There is another word I'm trying to find. Let's spend the rest of the podcast trying to
get your phones and
dictionary.
We'll get it out.
Okay.
So and then you go into some rooms in Dubai and people like they don't care at all. Like you know, like this type of comedy places where people are talking with each other. Some people are playing another game on their tables, like board games. And then
designed by your company.
Yeah, designed by company.
Shout out to.
So if I don't sell them comedy, I try to sell them games. In this case. And you go there, if you don't interact with them and you address the elephant in the room, it's a total failure.
Yeah.
So so you'll go there doing your set and then no one is addressing that something happened. Like one day I was doing a set and then I saw that literally everyone was on their phone. Everyone was checking their phone.
Ouch, yeah.
Okay, and I didn't know what to do. I felt there was something weird happening, that there is a news or like everyone got the same notification at the same time. And then I went down the stage and then there was John Haig who told me the Queen has just passed away. And I was just out of all the time she had.
She chose this time.
The right place, the
right time in a 90% British comedian.
Oh my God!
British comedy club. Like everyone was dying.
And what can you say? There's nothing you can say to make sure like you get the audience back in that moment.
No.
Right?
Yeah, but at least to ask them, okay, guys, let's see what to do now. Let's discuss.
Therapy.
Let's talk about her life.
Let's remember her.
Let's pray. Guys, let's pray.
How good of a queen.
Let's plan the funeral.
It's tough, but how do you see the difference of, as you said, Beirut and here in terms of comedy scene? Would you say that there's a lot more in the UAE to improve or at least work on when it comes to the comedy scene?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
That's a very good question, and I need to make sure how to answer this question.
Be careful.
Without any losing all my allies.
Exactly.
You'll wake up tomorrow and you'll see your Instagram followers are gone.
and I'm cancelled from most of the comedy shows.
I'm okay. I can't be cancelled for comedy. I asked the question.
So no, I think the comedy scene is happening in Dubai. Okay, how to say it? Okay, but I think there is a lot to improve.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the first thing, our priority should be how to build the scene before making money out of the scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so the priority will be to build the scene itself.
Yeah.
So what about building the scene itself? So making sure to do more open mics that some producers are investing a lot of time in it.
Yeah.
Why open mics? Because this is where the jokes should be tested before going into a lineup.
Yeah.
If you're not testing your joke, if you go into a lineup and you bomb and people are already paying 65 or sometimes 70 dirham to watch you, so people will get a little bit
annoyed.
So guys, no, you should have tested this before with your partner at home, with your friends, before going to test it on stage. I think the culture, we have some elements of the culture itself, but I think there is a long way. I'm not the expert in doing this, so I'm not pretentious and saying that I know how to do it. I have no clue, and thankfully we have all these producers trying to come up with the best way to work out on this scene. The good thing about the scene in Beirut, and I don't want to compare because also there is another momentum in Beirut and everything, but the good thing that the producers themselves are not comedians.
Okay.
So they're proper showrunners.
Right. Yeah.
They know a lot about comedy, but they are not actually part of the show itself. So this helps.
Right.
This helps, even though the producers are doing amazing job. But this helps to have someone super independent and then giving
and detached.
So I go there now, and now with all the notoriety, is it English?
Yeah.
No, with
Yeah.
all the what I have.
Yeah.
Even if I want to go to perform in Beirut, they will tell me, John, but you have to go through open mics first if you're testing new jokes.
Nice.
I'm not going to test my new joke in a comedy club night. Now I have the reflex in Beirut not even to try to test them because I know that I will fail. But the failing is part of comedy.
Yeah.
Because part of what we have to do in Dubai is actually to educate not the audience of stand-up. That failing is part of comedy as well. So they go to watch us open mic. They see that we are failing and bombing many times. Then the joke is being crafted, so the art is in the making. Then we take this content into 10-minute lineup, 10 minutes. We make sure that we're tweaking this joke to have tight 5. From the tight 5, we can do the tight 10. If people like this topic of 5 minutes, we can expand it into 10 minutes. Then you start creating showcases event, like 3 comedians doing 20-20-20. Then you do headlining event. Then you create your 1 hour.
Beautiful, yeah. So I totally agree with that.
So I think, but they are really, to be super transparent, that everyone is working on it. But I think this is we need to take our art seriously and even to sell it to the venues as an art. Okay, it's not something that venues should do on the side. Like when I perform in Dubai, I will ask the venue guys, you cannot take orders during my show. Orders should stop before I go on stage. Lights will be off. You cannot put a football match.
Exactly.
The queen cannot die.
At the same time, I'm on stage.
On stage. So I have this. And then people now, because they... What happened? So the first time I told this to a venue in Dubai, they were, John, no one will accept it. Okay, fine, I'm not going to perform here. And then when they went through our rules, and they saw the difference, that people are enjoying more the show. So people will come more oftenly to this type of show. People now are used to come and order earlier.
Out in between.
Exactly.
Making a bulk order in the beginning. So it's good business for the venues.
So good business for the venue. And now, like how to say it, all the venues, they want us to perform there. They say, okay, guys, we will do whatever you want, just make it work. Okay, just tell us, we will invest. And now venues are actually investing. I will change the curtains, I will have a better stage, I will change the sound system. This is because they are understanding. It's part of building this community around that.
Just to add to what you said, Ima's one of my closest friends in comedy. And she told me this thing, because you shared the same experience with her, right? Like about the venue should also have a certain rule, like no ordering between the sets of the... And she told me all this, that she learned all these things from you, because John is one of the very few comedians who take this art very seriously, because it's something that can really elevate the whole experience.
And to be fair, I learned this from Beirut producers.
Exactly. So this is the beauty of comedy as well, right? Because all of us doing comedy in the UAE, all started doing comedy in the UAE. Everyone has barely done a show outside of this country as well. So all they know is the UAE. A bar is here. I've seen shows where I'm telling you, there are all these British people watching a football game in the back wearing their jerseys. And I'm in the front trying to talk louder than the TV. And then I can see them putting the TV volume louder. So like it's all these things that
Now it became a comedian group therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us more. How do you feel?
One day there was a guy with the shaker on the bottom.
one day getting coffee and the machine is too loud.
Yeah.
No, but it's very true, because all these small things will really elevate an experience of the audience. And with that, then like they'll tell their friends, oh, we went to this comedy show, it was so well curated, lineup was on point, everyone is doing their best jokes. And then like you said, even like on a proper curated show and there's someone doing new material for the first time, it bombs. They got off stage like such a stupid audience, man.
It's never because of the audience. Never.
You know that, John,
Rule number one.
I got off stage, I know I bombed, I understand the whole process. People say stupid audience, how they don't understand smart jokes. They don't make... I never blame the audience.
We're stupid. If we're not able to cater to our audience, we're stupid.
Yes, and that's something which I think everyone should really learn, like reading the room. If you know you're losing their interest, go to a stronger joke maybe in the meantime, or try to call it a quit, but never attack the audience, because they're like, look at the stupid people. You've been to shows here, yeah? Like
I
like,
know. Yeah. Don't get... And there is one... what I was going to say. Okay, I forgot.
Something about the stupid room. But coming from someone who's not a comedian, someone who watches a lot of comedy shows, it's quite nice to see that this is going to move towards how we see comedy elsewhere. Like if you go to the US, you go to the UK, you go to Beirut, you see these more advanced comedy rooms. And it's nice to see that at least we already have that community here. And then it's going to be built. Because I'm telling you, 20 years ago, I don't know, 10 years ago, when we talk about comedy and we see comedians on TV from the US, elsewhere, there's nothing here, zero. There's nothing.
Things are happening. Yeah. And really, if I'm like my vision for the UAE, okay, I have no one.
Sheikh Zayed?
No, I have no one. But then, and this to like how I can see things.
Yeah.
Like really, if this art will be taken seriously, comedy can be in the top 5 things to do in Dubai when tourists come. So like you are in the States, like in New York, and then you say, definitely I'm going into stand-up comedy show. Hopefully I will get to Comedy Cellar just to see like unannounced lineup. I don't know who will show up. I think because we have so many tourists coming here, if we take this art seriously, we can do 4 to 5 daily shows where people can actually book in advance just to make sure they will get everything. They will get to know the whole city through the lens of stand-up comedian, and that will be great. Okay, how to do it, I don't know. I'm just sharing the vision.
If anyone knows how to do it, let us know.
Comment in our...
Exactly.
No, but it's beautiful to see where it is. And years ago, there wouldn't be any Dubai Comedy Festival, which is already happening. So, Dubai Comedy Festival, you're going to be part of it.
Yeah.
You want to tell us more? What's happening?
No, I'll keep it to myself. No, Dubai Comedy Festival. Actually, yes. Last year I was hosting 3 Lebanese comedians coming all the way from Beirut to Dubai.
Nice.
And it took me so much effort to convince Dubai Comedy Festival to host this event last year. I don't know why. Okay, but they were not directly convinced. And then when I did the hosting, the vibes were great. Also, the 3 comedians did amazing job. And then this joke went viral because of the English, and then everything happened. And then luckily I got in touch with Dubai Comedy Festival. They are amazing people. Actually, they didn't know me before, and it's totally... Even my parents didn't believe in me as a comedian. So fine.
Yeah,
and they were, John, look, we have this opportunity. If you want to perform your 1 hour for the last time, because I already did my 1 hour in Dubai more than 17 and 18 times.
Okay.
Wow.
Every time there is 200 people, and now I'm doing it 2 more nights already. The first show is sold out. The second show is half sold out. So luckily,
sold out.
And people were, and Dubai Comedy Festival, really, they supported me, and they said, okay, we're gonna tape this show and we will try to sell it. So this is something big. I'm really anxious about it. Thankful and grateful for Dubai Comedy Festival, for Achkar, who supported me throughout the way, and they will be the ones directing the taping. And luckily, Really, for me, it's my now it's my biggest fear. So what will happen on May 21st? Because it will be back-to-back shows.
Right. Okay, so one day, two shows.
6
Okay.
and then 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 6 is sold out, 9 p.m. there's still some
There's
slots.
still some.
Okay, so a little bit of slots for those.
In
In Mall of the Emirates, the theater Mall of the Emirates. For me, it's the biggest thing that it will be the biggest audience I performed. Like even in France, it was 300 people, and Riyadh it was 350.
Okay.
But the biggest audience ever will be 525.
Nice.
Wow.
For me, it's big. It's really
Yeah.
something. I wasn't expecting this. And
Yeah.
I really believe that these things only happen in Dubai.
Mhm.
And now I realize what was the Emirati dream.
Yeah.
So in these moments like this, I say, okay, luckily we're here. Luckily we had the chance to be a part of the growth of the scene here. Luckily people thought I was funny,
Yeah.
and luckily things are happening in this direction.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So they're recording both shows.
Yeah. to
Okay,
take the
then
best,
you can
to
just,
take
yeah.
the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
shot.
Put everything
teaching
together.
her the other
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
I was teaching her how it works for a special
have to
taping.
I have to wear the same clothes.
Yes. Look the same. Don't change
Yeah,
anything.
Same jokes and yeah.
It's going to be in Arabic, right?
In Arabic.
Amazing.
In
So,
Arabic.
sorry,
Okay.
bud.
That's the thing. So I told her, go for the show and bring her dad, because her dad knows I do comedy as well.
Okay.
But I don't want him to see me. 'Cause I'm so I'm like, let's take a very good comedian who does it in his local language.
Yeah.
And, so
And he
knows,
would
wow, what
understand.
Joshua does is actually really
Yeah.
big and amazing. So if I'm
Through
watching
John. He'll see John and be like, this is what my son-in-law does.
Joshua does.
Exactly. Okay, I approve of it.
He
Sure.
never watched you.
my parents have never seen me do comedy as well.
Has your parents seen you?
My parents now are the biggest fan. Like my mom went all the way from
I saw
Beirut
that
to
post.
Paris,
I saw that post.
and now she's coming to Dubai and she wants to go to the 2 shows. I told them, Mom, يعني, you've already watched that. Like, I want to see the difference.
You can't say no
So
to
we
that.
parents, before I don't know how much time we have left, but there's like 2 more things that I want
Yeah.
to talk about before we end the podcast. So when you said that you wanted to be a comedian, were your parents okay with the fact that you actually like have this dream and they were supporting you?
For them, it was, yeah, John is trying something, like he tried kickboxing.
A hobby.
And okay,
Yeah.
we will go, we will see
Yeah.
his 10 minutes. And okay. But, like, even now, when, like, we are sitting with my, like, some friends of my parents that I don't know, and then they want to introduce me, like, then John, what do you do for a living? And I was, I'm a comedian. And my mom was, no, he has his company.
Yes.
He's an
John,
entrepreneur.
yeah, you're an entrepreneur, you have your company, tell them.
This is a side job.
It's a side job, but now they are taking it more seriously. Like now, every
That's nice.
day, my mom, John, I was there, and people were asking me about you when you're going to perform again in Beirut, and then now they invite their friends.
So nice. Imagine all the tontettes coming in.
Exactly. And they said, and then I surprised them with some new jokes about them.
Yeah.
And then John, you didn't tell me you're making this specific joke right now.
I didn't approve it.
Yeah, and you know, if these friends are coming, I don't want to listen to this joke, so maybe
They're telling you what to do on stage.
Yeah.
They're directing your show.
Yeah.
No, that's too cute. They're very supportive.
They are.
That's very nice.
They are.
That's very nice. That's
This is a sign for you to invite your parents.
I would love to. I would love to, but I'm still working on a lot of stuff. Like I know what you said, like the importance of going to an open mic. Because I once went. I don't want to make it about me, but because I just thought of it right now.
It's
Like what you said, like go to your open mic, try new stuff. And I've been trying this bit for a while. And one guy, a new comedian, he's not in the scene anymore. He's like, Josh, I've been seeing you for 3 months now, and this is the only joke I've heard on stage. And I'm like, yes, because I'm trying to work it into my solid 15 or something. And then, but he doesn't understand it, right? He thinks I have to write something new every time and come to stage with a new joke all the time. Because it's a different art form. Like Taylor Swift can sing the same song for 1,000 days straight and people will still come. But I understand how comedy works as well, like in the same way that you do. So it is
like
really about working hard. And
even we can come up with the concept that this is an open invitation for Dubai comics. Like we need to maybe we can create something called the closed mic. No, really. It's between comics.
Just
between
all of you
comedians
guys.
that someone goes on stage, but it requires, and there is something key about stand-up comedy. It requires vulnerability. So you go, you test your material, and then, guys, in full transparency, tell me how did you feel regarding my joke. But it requires a lot of trust within the community and to show vulnerability. And I think vulnerability is a key word. If you don't show it with other comedians, and if you don't show it in front of the audience, people will feel the fact that you position yourself higher than they are. And then you will, because no one wants to come to watch someone who's teaching them how to live their life.
It was so prideful.
They have everything figured out, and they know how to deal with life. They want someone to show them that
someone they can relate with. I mean, we're all trying to figure things out.
And also on top of that, like to be able to take feedback seriously.
You said this happened before, right? Like there was this sort of format where a lot of comedians would come and
there are like writing clinics and everything like that, but not actual performing clinics. Because you can have an amazing joke, but the way you deliver it really matters. Yeah. So that's one thing. Okay, now I want to end in this. It's a very serious question about comedy again. I know that's mostly
about comedy.
Something new.
What topic?
Okay. It's quite serious because I've heard this answered very differently from a lot of people. Do you think comedy is something that you can learn and try to develop, or you think that some people are naturally born for this stuff?
Everyone can learn to become to do jokes, definitely. To become a comedian, it's something you can learn, but you need to push it further. Like you need more investment. There was this book I was reading, Humor Seriously. It's about how they teach CEOs and big shots how to make jokes so they can get people's attention. And it seems people, they tend to stay longer with their managers if their managers make a lot
of jokes.
The funniest part that in my team, in my company, like every time I tell them, the first time actually I told one of my team I'm going into a comedy club night, she told me, John, are you going to perform? I told her, yes. She told me, John, you're not funny at all. So it seems that at work I'm not the funniest.
You're more straightforward.
Amazing. Okay, John, I understand you're a comedian, but please try to only stay a comedian on stage. Don't do the
put a division.
That's the whole shtick, right? About being a comedian. They're like, oh, really, on comedy? But sometimes like the funniest people you talk to in a conversation suck on stage, and vice versa. Like someone could be amazing on stage, but then and when you speak to them, they're like very
like a bad conversationalist.
Exactly. But everyone can. So for those who are listening to this podcast, they can become.
We guys have a chance. Those who are not comedians.
So John, you've traveled Europe. You've performed. I don't know why I'm sounding like a talk show host. You know. No, but you see, you have the dream of every comedian right now, basically. Like, I don't want to say overnight sensation because you've been doing this your entire life, but you got blessed and you really put in the work, and that one reel blew you up to a way you never thought that would actually happen here. So what is your, like, two questions, this is like a 2-question part, like, what is your advice for comedians here? How do they get to, I don't want to say your level because I know that you still have so much things to do, to unlock basically, and is there any advice that you can give to comedians that are starting for the first time, or like, what do you think is the ratio of like how much should they really put on social media as well? Because I'm scared to put my stuff on social media because I know I'll burn the jokes and then it won't be as funny when people see me on Instagram, that particular joke, and I say it again on stage. So that is one. And how was your experiences? Like you said, you were overwhelmed, but I want you to go a little bit deeper and like, how did you feel like from doing like open mics to like paid shows in the UAE to going on a full blown tour across Europe, performing in Arabic to an mostly Arabic speaking audience as well? So like that's crazy. Like I could never imagine myself doing that in like a span of a year as well.
You will do it. But there is two things two things here. First, after the tour, also I announced one show in Beirut. Because of the number of bookings, we had to book 6 shows, and we had 400 people on the waiting list.
Wow.
So now we're doing a non-announced show in Beirut on the 15th, just to cater for the previous booking, and I needed a little bit to practice before the 21st. And then I traveled with my girlfriend, with Katya, to Maldives. And then the second day in Maldives, Katya told me cheers for the tour. I started crying because it took me 2 months to realize that, look, I have...
Yeah, goosebumps.
Even I'm feeling it. Like
it took me 2 months to realize, man, this really happened. So I'm living now what I always wanted to live, and things happen really quickly. I didn't even realize. So when you sleep in one city, you wake up in another city, then you mix things up. So I was performing in Toulouse. I had 2 back-to-back shows. The next day, my plane got a little bit delayed. So I got to Lyon. I was performing in Lyon in France the second day, and I went on stage in front. It was sold out show. Like, there was 100 people, a super nice venue. The opening act did great. The venue is like this dream, like comedy clubs. Okay, everything went into my direction. And then because I was super tired, I was in front of everyone. Hello, Toulouse. And then I realized I was in Lyon. It was another city. And everyone went, what? so you realize after time that actually, okay, it wasn't raining, because it seems I'm the type of people who get the energy from the people. So I'm extrovert. I'm extreme extrovert people. So after the shows, I used to invite people to go and have dinner after the show,
meet and greet and dine.
And then every show I make sure that I say thank you, and I shake hands with all the audience who are, just to thank them they came. But what makes me still wanting more is the fact that 5 years ago, when I started my my CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, with my therapist, he always told me, John, you need to visualize what is your end goal and where you want to go. And when you close your eyes, you need to visualize exactly where you will get in 5 years. And I was visualizing the fact that one day I will perform in l'Olympia de Paris in front of 2,000 people, and it will be the special that will be filmed on maybe live, and will be live on Netflix. I don't know. So until now, what makes me wake up every day, and what makes me go through the shittiest open mics ever, and what makes me take me through bombing, what makes me trying new jokes, is the fact that I always have in mind this goal. So the more, and my therapist used to tell me that the more your visualization has details, the more it will generate dopamine, and it will give you excitement for the next phase. So now I have it all in mind. I know exactly what I will be wearing. I know exactly where my parents will be sitting. I know exactly everything about the setup. I know the venue. I've been to the venue, and I know exactly where I'm getting within 2 to 3 years. So it's important for any comedian to know exactly where he's going with his comedy. Some comedian, they will say, okay, we want to have 1 million subscribers on TikTok. For me, it's amazing, but this is done for TikTok. Okay, for me, I want to make sure that all my shows are sold out. Okay, so it's another way of doing things. I make sure that I don't burn my material, my content. I make sure that it's only about crowd work to build momentum before the biggest shows. I make sure also to create some scarcity with my audience, so I'm not always available everywhere. Now, like after Dubai show, I still have a few shows, and then I will disappear completely. So that's it. But to pursue your dream, you have to work hard, and you have to be super vulnerable to accept the fact that you're bombing on stage, and and we need to kill our own babies. And this is something, stand up you need to kill your own babies. If you go on stage and the joke doesn't land well, kill it.
Oh, okay.
You need
it's
Joshua was like, why we're ending on this note?
Why are we talking about abortion? This is a comment.
Why did we invite John with this young name? So
that's tough, yeah, because it's technically your baby. You created it. You're attached to it. But if it doesn't work,
it doesn't.
done.
خلاص,
Yeah.
it's not fine.
How many tries do you give it until you're like, I'm خلاص?
For a joke?
Yeah.
I'm a serial killer when it comes to.
Wow,
I'm a
you're
serial
right
killer
away.
Right away.
Okay.
خلاص, I say, okay, this is not working. Sometimes I feel if people are laughing for 3 minutes, you know that you can widen the prospects in the same topic.
Right.
So it gives me, maybe I don't get the laughs I want now,
Yeah.
but I know if that people were just expecting the next one. But if the topic doesn't make them laugh from
the beginning,
like, yeah, I will try it maximum 2 times and then خلاص, I'll do something else.
I think I wouldn't kill my joke because there's one joke I had which is one of the first jokes ever written 2018. I didn't get the laughs that I wanted. I didn't kill it. I put it in a coma. So I just put it in the back.
Yeah.
And then there was a roast battle. And I don't know if you know Anand. He did a roast. And that there was the punchline of the roast was a perfect way to continue that joke. And I did it. And I told him, like, I know you roasted me with this joke. You can still use it when you roast me in the future. But I want to use this bit into finishing this joke. And this is one of the funniest jokes I've ever written.
Wow.
It's something
so
like that. Yes.
Also.
So you can park it.
Park it.
Yes. Yeah. Because
put it on a coma.
where you are like 4 years ago is a different comedian where you are now. So it's
exactly.
Okay. Before we end, this is the last question for you.
Okay.
This is
how many last questions?
No. This is honestly the last question because you've made it this far and you know where you're going to go as well. And sorry, that doesn't even make sense from what I'm about to ask, but this is mostly for me because this is something I ask every comedian. What is your joke writing process? Do you write word for word? Do you write bullet points? Do you just basically that? What's your process?
There is something I want to enhance is my joke writing process. Okay. So every comedian should have a routine to write jokes and to write jokes more oftenly. It's not only when you get inspired. It's only about training your brain to write. And I don't have this art yet. So until now, I'm getting inspired. Until now, I wait till I go into a divorce so I can write about it. I
wait for life's problems to hit you.
It's like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift of comedy.
So until my parents go, like they say, one weird sentence in the middle of lunch, family died. Okay. You don't know where this is going.
Start writing it down. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do believe that comedy should be done this way. And you have to write every day and then to make to punch it, and then to test it and to open mic and then to take it further, word by word. And what I heard from different comedians that they go with the main idea.
Yes.
And they start crafting it in an open mic. So they have the main idea in mind and they go out there and they
say,
okay guys, I'll tell you what happened to me in Nepal. And then they say, ta. Oh, this is working. And then you will realize what will make people laugh. Is it a certain expression? Is it a certain punctuation? Is it
a certain
how you're bluffing them?
Yeah.
Because the whole joke is you're taking them something and then you punchline. People are not expecting.
Yeah. So you keep those in mind. By the time that you leave the stage, you're like, okay, I have to.
Record all my sets. And and then ideally I have to write it down exactly. Like now for my 1 hour. On the 21st, I'm watching all my previous performances and I'm trying to get the best performance for every joke of the 1 hour.
Okay.
Right.
So this is the best way, John, you said it in this specific event. And then you have to say it the same way because there was something in this way that is working that is not working in other places.
Right.
So calculated. People think you just go on stage and talk crap whatever you want to, but no, okay, my left hand has to be here. My mic has to be here. My eye is like this. It's so calculated. People think it's just so natural, but I don't know. There's such a deep science.
That's why it's called art, right? Because there's so many elements that is required to it.
so many, and I think the way it's called art because it's a way to express an inner feeling that you can only express through stand-up.
Yeah.
I think this is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
There are things that only stand-up comedians can actually make sure that you relate emotion, like they can showcase your emotions while you are watching them only because you're able to relate to the whole story that they went.
Beautiful.
That's true. Yeah. Well said.
No, why does this so sad? Like I ended on the saddest note.
No, exactly.
Smart. Okay, guys.
Oh, well, on that note, let's end the podcast.
Yeah, let's end the podcast the same way we started, actually. This might even be a question. I don't know. Again, sorry.
The last question.
Yeah, okay. But it's just to bring everything together from what we spoke about. Like you said in the beginning that that one reel made you where you are today, which was in English. And now you're performing an hour in Arabic. Do you have plans of going to like an English 1 hour set? And is that something that you see in the future? And then...
Yeah, I wish I tried English, and when I was touring, I tried in French as well, and it worked.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So I did also 5-10 minutes in French, and I felt okay, I have it because I know more words in French that I know in English.
Okay.
So with this diversity, it helped me to build some jokes. Definitely after performing in Mall of the Emirates on the 21st, I need to take a short break to assess what I want to do next.
Yeah.
Okay, like there are so many comedy festivals that I want to be part of, but then there are not enough comedy festivals in Arabic other than Dubai Comedy Festival. So I'm just figuring it out. I'm not sure. I'm going to perform definitely in English in Dubai, because I need to get used. But as you mentioned in the beginning, I'm an amateur, so it's something super new that I'm doing in English. It took me 7 years to get where I am today in Arabic, and it will take me other maybe 5 to 7 years to get where I am. No,
well, even
I
less.
I thought you will said no, you don't need this.
Need and then it's like exactly.
No,
exactly.
Yeah. Like
I felt maybe more.
I think more. Yeah, maybe I'll be dead by then. No, because you said that you have references which you do to the Lebanese, which are specifically for Lebanese people, and you want to universalize your comedy. So I think that's a great way of like, I think English, you'll do shows in the US, Canada, Europe, everywhere, but I think you can somehow try to, like you said, maybe take a step back after this 1 hour filming of yours, and then to see what you want to actually do now.
So now really the sky is the limit. Luckily, with the support of everyone, like producers in Dubai are doing amazing job. The fact that you guys are shedding the light on this type of thing, you're doing amazing job. The producers in Beirut, the Dubai Comedy Festival here, like we're lucky to be in this
time and environment.
In this time of environment. By the way, if you go to Beirut, you have to try to do stand-up in English there, even if the scene is in Arabic, but like people...
I was speaking to Ima about this. I'll tell you about it a little bit later.
Later. So we're not telling you. Talk about something.
Secret.
And I really feel we're lucky to live in this bubble. And hopefully, with everything happening, this is growing fast. I think COVID helped us a lot.
I wouldn't expect it, but yeah.
COVID helped.
It skyrocket a lot of
skyrocket, and luckily we're here. And luckily we're in Dubai. So that's it.
Well,
so beautiful.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, first of all, you have your show. On the 21st.
Yeah.
So there's 2 shows. One's already sold out, 9 p.m. If you guys still want to watch, there's still a couple of slots.
I'm making sure Janine and her dad go. So guys, you'll see Janine as well in the audience. Go say hi. But don't disturb because Sean in the middle of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Don't heckle. Learn the etiquette of watching a comedy show.
Still cannot think of the other word.
Yeah.
That's why.
Let us know later. And let us know where can they stalk you. What's your Instagram handle, TikTok?
My Instagram is John Achkar, JOHNACHR. My TikTok is John Achkar, but ACHKAR. Yeah, I'm very good at social media.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Great. Okay, I don't have a channel on YouTube, but I have some people who already posted a few of my videos on YouTube.
They're getting your money
already. Created my channel.
Monetizing off of
my company is everything.me. everything with the K. This is where we design and produce board games. Other than this, I do corporate trainings as well.
Ah, nice.
When I tell people, guys, let's connect on LinkedIn, they tell me, no, we will follow you on TikTok. so yeah, usually this is what I do in Dubai. So now we'll start another podcast talking about the...
Well, there is one in the pipeline, so hopefully they will see this podcast in the near future. Or it's already out. Your podcast.
The other podcast. I mean, the thing that the project you're working on.
There's another podcast. We were working on it, but it's nothing. This is super professional. So what we like when I saw the mic, I said, we really need to invest in something.
Recording in a restaurant.
With eating shawarma.
Exactly. The Lebanese.
No, but that's a lot of fun as well. Like I really wish the best for you, John. Like you're one person who really inspired me a lot, and I don't say that a lot about UAE comics, and I know I should, but seeing your journey really was very inspiring. All the comedians are talking about you. Like everyone is now bringing their cameras to comedy shows, recording their sets, posting as well, and I love that you showed them like what really it can do, like just putting it out there and just
it means the world to me. Really, I feel that I was lucky enough to get there, and thank you guys for inviting me. Really, it means thank you guys
so much. So that's it from our side. Please do like, subscribe, share this podcast to someone, and thank you so much, guys.
And have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.